How many horses do you have?
In Europe, I have six right now, and in Mumbai, I have two. It's actually not. I've never actually named any of my horses. All the horses that have come to me have come with their names from the breeder.
The Asian Game qualifications. How hopeful were you, and how are you seeing things for the future?
We were quite hopeful that we'd be selected, but still, like, it's surreal when it happens. It takes a few days just to sink in. It is quite a niche sport. Not a lot of people know about it. Equestrian has three disciplines in it. There's show jumping, which is what I do. There's dressage, and there's eventing. Let's just say that they don't understand the consequences of certain things they do, so they'll go run into a wall, and then they'll be like, "Oh, shit, I got hurt." Like, just to put it
Okay.
plainly.
Hello everyone, welcome to timesofIndia.com. This is Jyotirmoy Haldar and today I am joined by Niharika Singhania. Niharika at the age of 19 has qualified for the 2026 Asian Games. She will be participating in the ASIAD alongside the India's show jumping team as an equestrian athlete.
Okay, Niharika. So first of all, let's start with your understanding of the sport equestrian. It's a lesser known sport as we know. So how do you see, and why do more people should follow this sport? Could you please explain a bit?
So it is quite a niche sport. Not a lot of people know about it, or understand how it works. So equestrian has three disciplines in it. There's show jumping, which is what I do. There's dressage, and there's eventing. So dressage is more. There's no jumps or anything involved. It's more of a dance with the horse and the rider. Like, it's a test laid down by the competition before you go there, and you perform that. And then eventing is sort of it contains some dressage, it contains some show jumping, and then there's cross country, which is over an open field, over obstacles that are fixed, that don't move. So it's a lot. I would say the show jumping is a bit at a lower level, the dressage is a bit at a lower level, and they also have this. So it's how well they can do all three. So the show jumping is basically you have a course set out with 12 to 14 jumps by the course designer, and you have to basically go the line that he like, it's normally 1, 2, 3, 4, whatever. So you follow his line, and you have to do it within the time limit and try to keep all the poles up, and also have, so basically you have zero penalties at the end, so then that's a clear round. So that's what you're aiming for. And then as it gets more competitive, then how do you differentiate the two clear rounds is that you have, is my time faster, is his time faster, and then you, these kind of things.
On the basis of time, the rank
Yes,
gets decided, right?
exactly. So the penalties matter first, and then the time matters second.
Okay, okay.
Yeah.
And is it the same for every event, or like the qualification
So
events?
there's a bit different formats for different events. So every competition has a slightly different format. You have your normal table A against jump off, which is what we regularly compete in. You have the table A, which is against the clock, which is also a different format. You have two phase special formats, but these are all technicalities.
Could you please be a bit detailed about your qualification, the Asian Game qualifications? How hopeful were you, and how are you seeing things for the future?
So we were quite hopeful that we'd be selected, but still, like, it's surreal when it happens. It takes a few days just to sink in, and this kind of thing. No, it was definitely very up and down. There was a lot of curveballs being thrown at us. I think our criteria also was updated very, very close to the deadline. So we were, all trying to run around, trying to figure out how to accommodate this new framework, sort of. But the mare that I was going to do it with, actually, Iron Lady, who had been with me, she's been with me from the first time I was in Europe. She was taught me how to jump the low heights, the, like, took me through everything basically. And then it was actually amazing with her that we were able to come up and do these bigger heights. And then a few weeks before the deadline, she started not feeling so good. And coincidentally, a week or two prior, like, this the horse that I've qualified with, Cash, he came to the stables, and he was actually supposed to be a horse for next year, to build up for bigger levels next year. And then we started going, and I was like, wow, this horse is unreal. And it started going good, it started going really good. And over the first weekend itself, we decided, like, okay, I think this can be a horse for the Asian Game trials. Let's try it. So then we gave it a shot with him, and it really worked out.
And when were the trials? Was it in India, and
So the
When
time
did this
period
happen?
for the Asian
Mhm.
trials was from November 15th of last year till June 14th, I believe, this year. And in that time period, basically, horses from India are not permitted to go to Japan because of the export laws and the restrictions that Japan has. So your horses would have to go from Europe. So you have to have your horses in Europe qualified there, and then you can move to Japan for these games. So it was mandatory for us to qualify from Europe, and over this time period that I mentioned, you have to basically pick out 3 or 4 shows that you would like to nominate as trials to count towards your result for the Asian Games selection, and let them know 7 days prior. And if you let the federation know 7 days prior, then they count those results towards your qualification for the Asian Games.
Through the entirety of that period, like you have to take care of your horse as well and take care of yourself as well. So it must have been very difficult, right?
Yeah, no, but that's a regular challenge of the sport. I think you always have to make sure the horses stay in good condition, and they're not the most. Let's just say they don't understand the consequences of certain things they do, so they'll go run into a wall, and then they'll be like, "Oh, shit, I got hurt." Like, just to put it
Okay.
plainly.
Okay. So how many horses do you have right now?
In Europe, I have 6 right now, and in Mumbai, I have 2 who are the horses that actually taught me to come up to this level.
And the horse that you qualified with, I think the name is first to cash out, if I'm not wrong. So how did that came up? Like while deciding a name, what are the criterias?
It's actually not. I've never actually named any of my horses. All the horses that have come to me have come with their names from the breeder or from the previous owners. So first to cash out, I think, is from the breeder, and he's now 11 years old. So there's a long time in between. And yeah, we thought maybe better to let him stick with the name that he's used to. I mean, we call him in the stables. We call him Cash, which is, I think, it's nice.
If we take you back, like why a sport like equestrian? How did it begin?
Uh, Honestly, for me, it was not something that was at all planned. We with school we had gone to this camp in Pune, and just randomly over there, I fell completely in love with it. I was like, I love the horses, everything about it, and I came back and I was just pestering my parents. I was like, please let me ride, let me go back to Pune, whatever. They were like, no, no, you can't go back to Pune and live there, but you can go to the race course here. There's horses there. So then I started there, and then I think that's where the competition and this kind of thing really started. And I got my first horse while I was at the race course and stuff like this. And I was training, still am training with, but at that time also started training with Yashan Kambata, who's also been to the Asian Games in 2014 and is also actually selected with me to go this year. Um, so I was training with him for about 4 years here. And then 2 years ago, I was thinking that, I want to kind of go a bit further. I want to see where I can take this. So then I went to Europe, where I met my current coach as well, Vincent Lambrecht. So I was now when I'm there, I'm training with him as well.
What have been the challenges you faced throughout this journey?
I mean, I think like anything, there's always challenges. For me personally, I think anything else is overcomable. For me, what I really like find it difficult to overcome is when the horses are sick or something like this. Then it really hurts you to see them in pain or to see them hurting for whatever reason, whether it's some like infection or whether they've hurt a leg or they've hurt something or the other. I mean, it's good that so far most have always recovered and this kind of stuff, but it's something, it hurts you more than something hurting you would hurt you.
What is your preparation routine? Like, do you do physical training or like mental training?
So we actually, I mean, our training goes on normally the whole day, so we don't tend to have too much time to do gym or anything else like this. But I think when you're working with horses, like it's not just about the riding aspect. There's also the
Mhm.
work aspect of getting them ready, cleaning the stables in the morning, doing the putting the water buckets for them or whatever it may be. With that, you have to clean your all your tack, whatever, and that work I think does a lot to keep you also a bit fitter. And then of course the riding part, which is, yeah,
And making synergy with a new horse, how do you do it?
it depends on the horse always. Like there's 100 different ways to approach a horse and approach that partnership. But personally, I really like to spend a lot of time with them in the stables. I think that's how you get to know them. Of course, there's the riding bit and the jumping bit and all that stuff that does come. But for me, what's important to me is that I spend time with him. I spend time, grooming him or just sitting with him. Like if I have to read my book, I'll go and sit in the stables and read it. Like I think it's just them getting used to you and getting used to your energy, and you have to get used to theirs. So I think that's a bit how I approach it. And of course, the longer and the more time you spend with the horse, the better and better you get to know them.
What would be your idea of getting more Indians into this sport?
I would say one of the important things would be that I hope they would start having more competitions, because as you have more competitions, then people say, okay, we want to work to something. Like you come and ride once, you enjoy the atmosphere and things, but when you keep doing it, you get better, and you're like, okay, now I'll leave it. But if there's more shows, I think more competitions, I think that's one part of it. And then as there's more competitions, people would start to get more horses in, and I think that would be good as well for like at least for me, my experience was that I completely fell in love with the horses, and the sport came like followed that. I hope that's what it can be for most people, because I think that's when you have an actually nice journey with it. If you only focus on the result, I don't think it goes well.
What are the sponsorship things like? Do the Indian uh, athletes get sponsors for this kind of sport? Like, are the sponsors available in India, or is it just outside India that you have to find, or
I would
make
say
something?
that I don't know too much about this, but I would say there are a few good sponsors, but very few.
How do you plan to prepare for the upcoming Asian Games? Like, do you
Uh,
have anything in?
um, for me, the main thing I think is just to keep the horses in a good shape, and also still liking what they do. So enough time that they get to relax as well, and then enough time where they're working as well to keep them in better shape. And also, I think we have to work a bit backwards from the Asian Games to make sure that they do peak at that time. And yeah, I think the main thing is just like we know we're good at that level now. Is just to make sure that we stay in that good shape and have a good result at the games.
One aspect that I would like to ask about your studies, like how do you manage both?
At the point that I was doing my diploma from my IB diploma, it was quite a struggle to balance the two. But I think I was lucky. I had some really good coaches and some really good teachers who helped me, kind of balance that. I was not the perfect student at all, but I tried my best. So
Did you never listen from your parents like don't do this, don't do that, like anything on that
honestly, I
sort?
was lucky in that regard. My parents, while they tried to keep me in check, of course, if I was going too much, then they would kind of rein me back in. But I was lucky. They never actually the conversation never came up of please stop writing until your boards are finished, or until this, like there was never that
They
thing,
never
like at least.
forced. Yeah.
No, not at all, not at all. Like for my mom especially, like her thing was that what you're studying, if you're studying for your board exams, whatever, 9 hours a day, 8 hours a day, you deserve that 1 hour a day to go, and I think you learn better when you come back. So go and do your thing. Okay, make it a bit less when you have these big exams coming up. Don't sit there for 5 6 hours, but go for 2 hours, go for 1 hour, enjoy and come back, and I think it'll help. So I'm lucky that yeah, from both my parents' side, teacher side, coaches side, that everybody kind of helped me through it.
Nice. One last question that I would like to ask: that do you see equestrian as your future, like professionally, or just more of a hobby? Like, what is your thought?
So this, like for me, my idea with the sport and the horses is always from the start. It's been, let me take it as far as I can take it. Like let me, go as far as I can and see what's possible. And I think for me, the biggest change in that came when I went to Europe, and I was like, wow, there's so much possible. Like there's so much more possible there than there is here, I think. And India is improving, but it's a whole other level. But so hopefully, yes, for sure. Even post the Asian Games, there are definitely things I want to do, and then we take it, step by step, and we see how far I can go.
Thanks a lot for joining and giving us your time,
Thank
and
you so
all the
much.
best for the Asian Games and for the future.
Thanks a lot for watching, guys. This was all from Niharika as well as from my side. And subscribe to the channel, like the video, and share across the social media so that people would get more knowledge, a bit more awareness about equestrian as a sport. So thanks a lot for watching. Keep watching TOI Sports and visiting timesofindia.com.